I always like to start at the front because this is where our security tree should be.
Right.
One of the issues we have in our building is we have all these kids streaming in the morning, or when school gets started, people want to come in and maybe they're salesmen or maybe they're up to no good. And the hard part about that is we don't know who's coming in our building. So about a year and a half ago, we put in some click systems. So if you were to walk in, right there around the corner, there's a button you push, and it has video and audio, and it shows on a monitor in the office. And that's fine, and that's a big improvement to what we had, which was nothing.
Right.
But the problem with it is that allows this door to unlock, so that allows them in here, and then they can go right, which is down the hall, or they can come straight forward.
Right.
But they have that much freedom of movement that it kind of can create a safety.
Right.
So we want one entrance where we can actually see them with our eyes coming in and being forced to funnel through the office.
Right.
So, you know,
so like the elementary school.
yes, like the elementary.
Right.
And for the most part, the middle school. When they built this in 1963, this was the outside of the school. Mm-hmm. That brick, in fact, I think that speaker, whatever that is, was there when they first, that's original equipment.
Probably.
It worked just fine back then. In 1963, we didn't have the issues that we have today in public schools.
Correct.
It's just a different culture, a different world, and we need to adapt to it.
You'd mentioned when it comes to the office complex, one of the things we wanted to do was to have it available up front as a single point of entry. But you also mentioned that when you have parents come in, sometimes they want to sit down and talk with the teaching team, whatever that looks like. Does our current office give us the ability to do that?
No, because it's outdated as well. We want to be able to show off what we have to prospective parents and students. So if they're trying to decide on the district between Baser, Linwood, and Tonganoxie, we do bring them in, and we try to convince them that, you know, this is the right place to be. But when you walk into that office, it's very clear that, you know, we can do better. This is our typical classroom in the East Campus. And it probably looks just like it did when you and I were in school. I was probably in school before you, but the rows and the lines where kids just sit and they get, that's not ideal for today's classrooms. We're trying to push our teachers into a different way of thinking, where we encourage kids to collaborate, to use creativity, to think innovatively, and to have discovery learning where they work as a team, because we know that that's what post-secondary schools, and we know that employers are looking for those skills. These classrooms are pretty small, and when you fill this classroom with kids that are sitting not only at these desks, but the teacher's desk and the desk over there and the table on the side, there's just not a lot of room to move around. So that's a direction that we're trying to go. So we need more space. Again, space is an issue in here, among many other things like electrical, plumbing. The gas is an issue. The kids, we don't turn the gas on because it's just so old and obsolete that it becomes a safety issue. The water that comes out, this is what it looks like. I don't know. We don't encourage our kids to drink it, of course, but you know, it's just the state of decay, I would say, in the East Campus. So we did a tour last night, and there was a student on that tour, and she talked about how in her class in here they had 34 kids. Well, imagine 34 kids trying to do experiments, working in groups, and science is a lot of collaborative work.
It is.
And it needs to be so that we can, you know, prepare our kids for what's next. But size and space and having that ability to move isn't conducive as it is today. So in here today. A lot of the other equipment, like these hoods, they're obsolete. And you really need to have, for optimal safety, you need those things to be operational.
This is the original library from the 1963 building. It's one of the bigger classrooms now?
Yes.
Yes. And then, is it a multi-use room? I mean, do you have to use it for that because of space issues?
We have chosen to have meetings in here because of the size. Sometimes Our other multi-purpose room, the chieftain room, is occupied with something. So we'll lean on this, and we'll also lean on the library in the West Campus, what was the old middle school library. So we use that as a multi-purpose room as well.